Hello Courtney, I want to give you a quick demo just to show you what I set up for you. So I'm logged in as you right now, and what I'm going to do with the login I gave you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the procurement module, and I'm going to put that in our favorites to start out with. So if you just type in that and I can click and I'll add that. So when you come to your star, you'll be able to go right to procurement. When you open procurement, what you'll be able to do is go into requests. But before you do that, if you right click on your tab and say duplicate, I want to go ahead and create a request so you can see it traced the whole way through. So logged in as you, I'll go to put an SP at the end of the URL and it'll bring me to the service portal. And then what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to add a few things to my shopping cart. So I'm just going to add an Apple iPhone 6s, and that's some errors I have in mine. And I'll add that to my cart. And then what I'll also do is I'll add a developer laptop Mac and also add that to my account. And then I'll be able to go ahead and go to my cart. Actually, okay, so I need to put the purpose for this, so I'll just scribble something in there. And then I'll add that to my cart. And I have 2 items. And then I'll be able to go to my cart and proceed to checkout. Now these items that I just put in are marked as what we call sourceable, right? So that means that they have to be sourced. So they're both in this state now, which is waiting for approval. So what happens is that request should be at the top of your list when you come over into your favorites again. You can see it's requested for Courtney. And this is pending approval right now. With the permissions I gave you, we can skip the approvals. If you wanted to see what they look like, I'll show you a quick thing that you can do. So there's 2 approvers on here, Eric and Sarah. If you wanted to just change that to see what it looks like, what you can do is put in your name, and you will be an approver on the list here. And then you can change this to where you requested approval from you. And then what will happen now is if you go back to your service portal page and you go to home, you'll see that there is a request. So I can open up that request, right? And then just because you're the approver, I'm just keeping everything under your user, I can go ahead and approve that request for those 2 items. So what will happen here is now that request is approved by you, I should see in that request that we created and approved that you marked it as approved. And what I can do is, instead of waiting for the other users, I'll just go ahead and set this approved. Now what's going to happen here is this request is going to change, because what it's going to do is going to create a catalog task here. So once this is approved, which the people in procurement usually have nothing to do, it's going to create a task in this task folder. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and say, so let's save this. All right, so that saves the record as approved. And then what I should see is a new catalog task here when that comes in. Okay, so the catalog task is created. Now if I go to the tasks folder, I'll see that at the top, but I'll also see it here. So this task that's created, so that's 15. But if I come to my tasks table, this is usually where the procurement team starts. So they'll open up that task that just came into the folder. That's what they're waiting for on the approvals. And then once they open that, it'll say source request up here. So if I click on source request, what it's going to do is it's going to say one of those devices in there is sourceable, which is the Apple iPhone 6s. And what I can do is there's 32 in stock. So what I can do is I can put a transfer order in, and it says, okay, here are the stock rooms. There's 31 in this stock room, and there's 1 in this stock room. So I'm going to get it out of my Southern California warehouse, and I am going to send that to my Denver pickup drop-off location. And then I can go ahead and submit that. Okay, and that would create a transfer order down here. Now, what I could have done alternatively, if I didn't want to use the warehouse, I can add a purchase order. And what the purchase order would do is, okay, I can go to Apple, to the vendor. These are not out of stock, but I still want to order 10 of these. And what do I want to do when these come in? I want to go ahead and put it in the Palo Alto warehouse. Okay, so you have the option of either creating a transfer order or a purchase order from these tasks that happen here. And then what will happen is once I go ahead and submit this, you'll see that I would be able to go down and see those purchase orders and transfer orders that are created. One purchase order and one transfer order created. And then if I go down here, I can see that, and I can do the same thing on here like I showed you earlier in the demo. So what I'll do is I'll go to my created field, add that to my list. And then what you'll be able to do is just come in here and sort by the created, Z to A. And here is my Apple purchase order that was just created because I ordered 10 of them, right? So now I have a list of that purchase order. And then what I can do in here as well is I could, when I receive this, right, I can come down and receive this on the purchase order once it comes in. Okay, so that's the next stage, would be the receiving. So you can try this workflow out yourself and hopefully get an idea for how the procurement module works. Typically with the purchase orders, that's going to go out and then, like I said, to a financial system. So there's typically part of the workflow is doing an integration here, and we'd be able to edit that, edit the current workflow to go out to your system and put an order in there. So we can wait for the approval on the purchase before we go ahead and request it. Hopefully that helps. And let me know if you have any questions.